All right, hey everybody, this is a follow-up to last week's massive RV recall that I did a video on. And if you were lucky enough, when you read that long list of 22,000 plus RVs that have got a safety issue, a defect, they're involved in that recall, and you go, woohoo, glad my RV wasn't on it. Maybe it's too early to celebrate because that list has just grown. I'm going to read this email. This is from Ron Burge, the Burge Law Firm. All he does is RV lemon law stuff. Ron does something every Monday. If you're on Facebook, I would encourage you to like his page. He's not paying me to say this stuff. I just think that it's important for all of us to stay safe and keep everybody else safe if we possibly can. So Ron has got a Facebook page, and every Monday he does one of these Monday morning RV recalls. And I'll put a link down below. Check it out. I mean, you know, all it is your life. That's how important it is, or your family's life. So you may want to think about checking it out. If you're not on Facebook, maybe on YouTube. I'll put a link down here to Ron's website as well, and then that way you can click on that and stay connected. But here's what this week's RV recall says. Last week, lots of RVs were recalled for cracked LP gas disconnect fittings that those manufacturers said they would not notify dealers and owners until July of 2022. This week, there are more manufacturers announcing the same recall on their RVs too, but with a twist. Braxton Creek RV announced the cracked LP gas fitting recall. They said that they would start sending out notices to the dealer and owners today, May 16th. Meanwhile, Heartland RV is recalling RVs due to defective breakers. Some Jayco RVs have storage compartments they say can melt from normal RV heat output, and power steering lines that can detach. Imagine driving your RV without power steering. No, thank you. Oh my gosh, Tiffin recalls RVs for wiring fire risk defects. Tiffin! And then there's Winnebago, who also announced that they're recalling RVs for the LP gas quick disconnect cracked fitting defect. But they're joining with the manufacturers from last week who are not telling their dealers and owners about it until July. Okay, again, I'm reading, this is an email from Ron Burge. This is what his Monday morning recall says. So these manufacturers know there is a potentially deadly defect in their RVs, and they're not going to tell dealers and owners about it for another 6 or 7 weeks? And this is the peak time of year to go camping? What are they thinking? Well, whatever it is, they aren't thinking much about you, folks. So, bad stuff. But I'm going to give you my take, and it's not quite as dark and scary as Ron's. Now, Ron wants to get your attention, I think. I'm not speaking on his behalf, but I'm going to give you my take. The reason the manufacturers are not notifying people until July, now some people have already been notified, but most people have not been notified of this, is because they don't have the replacement fittings yet. They don't have them. So why send that out and create this stampede of people if you think it's been hard to get your RV in and out of the service department before this? What do you think it's going to be like after this? But the other thing is, what do you think manufacturers should be doing? Should they do anything? I would think they could do something right now. I'm not sure. Some may be doing it. On my video I did last week about this, and as well as this one, if you are watching, you've got some tips, some safety tips that people might want to consider. Post them down in the comments. Read these comments. There's a lot of really, really smart people that watch these videos, much smarter than me. A lot of people are talking about doing this old soapy water test around your LP gas fittings. And, you know, if there's a little bubble, that's a bad sign. I believe that while this is a potentially deadly situation, it's potentially I can win the lottery if I go play it, potentially. The chances of me winning, probably not very good. Potentially there could be a fire hazard here. And you have to pay attention to that. Don't be paranoid. Don't call up and call the manufacturer, you SOB screwed me over. You think it's some kind of a conspiracy? I don't. There's no way. No way a manufacturer would ever knowingly sell a defective product. You know what I think it is? I think that these recalls, the recalls that we hear about with RVs, come from essentially two things. One of them is they go with the cheapest bid. They want a whatchamacallit made, so they're going to get 1,000 of them or 10,000, whatever it is. And all too often they go with the cheapest bid. Why? For the bottom line. I understand that. But in this case, guess what the cheapest bid turned into? Think about what this is going to cost them. The whole industry, not just the manufacturers, the dealers in their time, the consumers like you and me that have to be without their RV. It won't take long to fix, but anything is too long when you think you buy a product that's supposed to be working properly and without defects. But the second reason I think that we're having more and more RV recalls is because of these human things called hands. Human beings make mistakes, and we make a lot of them. Many of the mistakes we make because we're too rushed. And I think that people on these assembly lines at manufacturing plants, some of them may be untrained. Some of them may feel pressure. Hurry, let's get it out, get it out, get it out. That's not good either. Human beings make mistakes, and when you take cheap products and human beings that are real fast about getting the job done, these kinds of things will happen. My hope is that this can be sort of a wake-up call, if you will, for RV manufacturers. If you call up and start screaming at your manufacturer, you're making a mistake. They didn't want this to happen. They want this thing to go away. They're not trying to hide it, but they don't want to panic the country. I mean, there's now more than 22,000 RVs that are involved in this recall. That's a lot of people, a lot of RVs. So be careful. Don't be paranoid. Don't call up your dealer and yell at them. Read the comments on this video, on my previous video about last week's recalls. Learn from those other people. Get a conversation going with them, because most of the people that watch this video are pretty dang smart, much smarter than I am. And they can be helpful in providing you some information that might be able to help you solve your problem. So let me know what you think. Why do you think that we see so many RV recalls? I think it's because we go with the lowest bid, or the manufacturers go with the lowest bid too often. And secondly, I think it's because of human hands and human, automotive manufacturers. Most of those cars and trucks are made by robots, not by these things. But RVs are made a lot by these things, and these things make mistakes. We call in sick. Some people have a hangover. Some people are mad. Some people are looking at their phone. They just got a text message and they're not paying attention to what's going on. I know we don't want to say that. I know there are some manufacturers out there saying, shut up. Well, I can't shut up. I'm talking, it's just the truth. That's what the Wingman does. I try to tell you the truth, the good, the bad, and everything in between. I will tell you that the manufacturers that I know, they have what's called a QA plant, quality assurance plant. So when the RVs come out, they start at one end of the line, they come out the other end of the line, they all go through some kind of an inspection, every one of them. Now, a lot of things will slip by the person that's inspecting them. Why? Because they're human beings. But the quality assurance plants, what they do is they go into their different manufacturing plants. They say, I want that one, that one, that one, and that one. And they'll take all these various RVs into their own plant with their own inspectors, and they will look for any defects, any problems, anything that, if it's a glue, if it's a cushion, if it's a gasket, whatever. So they are double checking these RVs. Will they still have some issues? Yes, they will. That's the truth. But the good manufacturers want to make a good product. They don't want you to go through this stuff. So again, Ron Burge's information is down below. In fact, they call him the RV lemon lawyer. Most RVs are not lemons. All of them will fall apart. They do fall apart, especially if you don't take care of them. But most RVs are not lemons. If you think you have a lemon RV, his law firm has a little questionnaire. I have a link down below that you fill it out, and they will review it for free and let you know if they think you might have a lemon RV, and then what you can do, if that's happening to you. So thank you for watching this video. If you liked it, find the information to be helpful, share it with your RVing family and friends to keep everybody safe. Again, if you're on Facebook, I would like Ron Burge's Facebook page, and every Monday, just set a little reminder, check out the Monday morning RV recalls. That way you'll stay safe and everybody that you know will be informed. All right, thank you so much. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up, hit the subscribe button. I'm Alan Warren, the RV Wingman. Be safe, have fun, play nice, and don't leave your good manners at home. I'll see you next time.